almost everything that has to do with the maritime industry today. I mean, be rest assured, it's going to be the bomb. If you're not tuned on to 90.3 FM at this point in time, then you're missing a lot. I mean, call your friends, call your colleagues, call your family members. Everybody must tune on to VOP 90.3 FM Maritime and Border Show.
Yeah, I'm equally excited as much as Francis here is. We have a very good, great guest here with us today. Of course, my name is Dili Utomi, here with Prince Francis Chilaka on the Maritime and Border Show 90.3 FM VOP FM. We have a guest, and we shall reveal his name in a moment. But of course, today we have the things that made the news in the maritime sector over the week.
Yeah, I mean, quite a lot of things happened, and we're going to take them one after the other. For those who are listening, don't forget, this is an interactive show. We're going to be opening on the phone lines at the appropriate time, but let's get down to serious business. All right. Custom reaffirms commitment to trade facilitation, compliance at Kano stakeholders engagement. The Nigerian Customs Service has reaffirmed its resolve to deepen trade facilitation while maintaining strict compliance with regulatory framework, as the Comptroller General of Customs CGC Adewale Adeniyi met with officers and stakeholders in Kano. The engagement formed part of the CGC's official working visit to Kano/Jigawa Area Command, aimed at strengthening operational efficiency, enhancing collaboration, and reinforcing reforms within the service. Speaking at the Stakeholders Forum held on Thursday, 19th of December 2025, Adeniyi stressed that effective trade facilitation must be anchored on transparency, integrity, and adherence to customs law and procedures. He explained that while the service remains committed to easing the movement of legitimate goods, such efforts cannot succeed in an environment that tolerates non-compliance or unethical practices. The Comptroller General charged them to remain disciplined, dedicated, and professional in the discharge of their duties, noting that the conduct of officers defines the credibility of the service. According to him, customs officers serve as the face of government at the borders, and their actions directly impact public trust and national economic objectives. The strength of the Nigerian Customs Service lies in the integrity, dedication, and discipline of its officers. Without these core values, neither trade facilitation nor national development can be sustainable. I mean,
a stakeholders meeting there in Kano.
Yeah, it's you know, like I keep saying.
Yeah, it keep happening on meeting the stakeholders.
Yes, you can't have anything working in any system where you have stakeholders. You must carry them along. And so I give kudos to the CGC. He's doing quite a lot in ensuring that stakeholders are carried along at every point in time.
Yeah, nice one there. Furthermore, NIMASA lauds contributions of maritime media to success of Nigeria at IMO elections. The Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, has acknowledged the invaluable support and contributions of Nigerian journalists, especially maritime media, to the recent success of Nigeria at the International Maritime Organization IMO elections. It will be recalled that Nigeria won the elusive Category C Council election at the IMO after 14 years of failed attempts. Receiving the leadership of the Maritime Reporters Association of Nigeria, MARAN, led by Mr. Tunde Ayodele on Wednesday at the headquarters of NIMASA, Ed Odesage, the Deputy Director and Head of the Public Relations Department of the agency, noted that maritime media has complemented the untiring efforts of the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy and NIMASA to showcase the enormous maritime potential of Nigeria, and is while admonishing the media, especially maritime media, against reportorial style that could demarcate the country. The international community is taking note of every single report we write as journalists about the country, and this is what they use to assess us as a nation. That is why it is imperative for us as journalists to allow patriotism and commitment to nation building guide the way we write. He, however, frowned at attempt by a few journalists to push wrong narrative over the recent incident of arrest of a vessel, MT Skipper, detained by the United States Coast Guard, USCG, over alleged crude oil theft and other international crimes. Yes, this it was a courtesy call by a section of the Nigerian maritime media practitioners, led by the interim president of Maran. And they spoke about the issue of trying to write and practice the profession of journalism in a way that it's good for the image of the country. Talking about developmental journalism and the rest of it. Well, it's there are different perspectives to it. Of course, we are trained to be as objective as possible. But I know that for a whole lot of journalists, bad news is what sells in most cases. But you must also be conscious of the effect of your action. I mean, because it's a global world today. Whatever happens in a particular place, if anything happens in a particular place, it becomes a global thing. So
you see, when you say people must be, I mean, obviously there needs to be discipline in reportage, and there has to be, the spirit to do the right thing. But you see, you can't stop a journalist from publishing what is right.
Yeah.
You cannot tell a journalist not to say something because you feel it's something that's going to affect the country. So if you feel that this is going to be bad image,
don't do anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in as much as everybody is now saying, "Oh, good, the Nigerian press did wonderfully," especially during this period, for us to be able to get this seat. How about government officials who harass journalists? Who, we have some state governors who have become lords that have decided to either,
once you disagree with them as a journalist, you become a target.
Yes, so they get you locked up, and
this
even some governors go as far as trying to close down radio stations and TV. So there has to be a balance. If the actions of government are good, journalists will
propagate
but if the government is doing something wrong, you do not expect a journalist to come sugarcoat it. So police interception of cleared containers sparks maritime industry backlash. Maritime stakeholders have described the interception of already cleared cargoes by the maritime police as a misnomer that undermines trade facilitation and violates international best practices in shipping and logistics, warning that the practice fuels avoidable cost, delays, and reputational damage to Nigerian ports. This consensus emerged as a stakeholders meeting convened by the Nigerian Shippers Council to address rising complaints by clearing agents and freight forwarders over the random blocking of containers after due clearance by statutory agencies at the Lagos ports. Participants drawn from Freight Forwarding Association, truck owners, terminal operators, and importers argue that once cargoes have passed examination and then duly cleared by customs and other government agencies, post-clearance interception amount to a breakdown of process, integrity, and regulatory coordination. They stress that such actions expose importers to excessive demurrage, storage charges, and contract defaults, while eroding confidence in Nigeria port system among global trading partners. One doesn't really know where to place this because there are too many agencies at the port. Too many, and they are fighting for recognition. Everybody wants to be penciled out, to be, we're the ones doing the right thing, we're the ones doing the job, so it becomes difficult for you to say The police, the maritime police, are they doing the right thing? Where do their jobs start? Where does it end? We need to have a situation where responsibilities of other agencies within the port are well defined.
You see, most of the time they talk about this issue of the maritime police. I get worried because a whole lot of stakeholders, especially clearing agents and freight forwarders, they talk about the effect of this on our country, as in terms of the predictability index of your goods, your cargo from point A to the destination. And for our country, it's very, very low. And this is because of certain things. Too many people trying to usurp the powers of the others, or too many overlapping powers coming to play a role in terms of in the goods clearing processes. I don't understand why goods will be cleared, and the maritime police, each time, if you bring anybody you bring to this place, they keep complaining about them from Tinkan, from Apapa ports. It doesn't make sense that the police start continue to harass.
I think it is important for the police to respond. Maybe as we go through the news.
Maybe one of these days I will bring the PRO of the Tinkan, command of the maritime police here one of these days. I'll invite him next.
Well, while we're on air, we'll keep hoping that there's a response. We'll search for it and use it eventually.
Yeah. Customs Parley, maritime journalists promises improved relationship. This an event that took place on Friday. The main hall of the Customs Training College, Ikeja, Lagos, was the venue of the end-of-year media parley, hosted by the Zone A of the Nigerian Customs Service. The event took place Friday night with notable maritime journalists in attendance. It was a great occasion for all the public relations officers present to feel the heartbeat of the people who have over the decades highlighted their achievements, critiqued their operations, instinctively nudged them forward in a manner of speaking, and occasionally disagreeing on some issues. The public relations officer of the Zone A, Chief Superintendent of Customs, Akaniyeme Edemine, opened the occasion. In his speech, he said, "I'm delighted to warmly welcome you to this end-of-year parley organized by the Nigerian Customs Service, Zone A. Your presence today underscores a strong and enduring relationship between the service and the media. A relationship founded on mutual respect, transparency, a shared responsibility to keep the Nigerian public well informed. As we approach the end of the year, this gathering offers us an important moment to reflect on our engagements, assess our progress, and exchange views for a better year ahead. This is because the NCS recognizes the media as a vital partner in the execution of its mandate." This is a nice move here by the Zone A of the Nigerian Customs Service. Actually, the chief host was of this event was a national PRO who we had here sometimes through on air, and who has also graciously promised to be here again. They are trying to sort of cement improve on the relationship they have with the maritime media, and it was a nice one. A whole lot of promises were made. People spoke about the fact that the media has a very important role to play in the Nigerian society in terms of developmental journalism, aside from the traditional roles of informing and educating the people. And the customs made some promises to continue to improve on their relationship with the maritime media personalities.
All right. Acting Controller Adigun tours bonded terminals under KLT command. The Acting Customs Area Controller of the Kirikiri Lighter Terminal, KLT Area Command, Deputy Controller BL Adigun, recently embarked on a working and familiarization visit to all bonded terminals within the command on Monday, 15 December 2025, following his recent assumption of duty. The visit gave him the opportunity to observe terminal operations and assess their overall efficiency. According to a press statement issued by Victor Ogabo, Chief Superintendent of Customs and Public Relations Officer, Kirikiri Lighter Terminal Area Command, Lagos. The visit was conducted to evaluate operations compliance level with customs laws and procedures, identify areas for improvement, and provide effective supervision of officers on duty. It also allowed him to review the readiness, safety, and security measures in place across all terminals under the command. He also visited licensed terminals that are yet to commence full operations, namely Beachland Consortium Limited, Harvard Terminal, and Tenzik Terminal. At these locations, he confirmed that the terminals have met all required documentary and facility standards. He promised these terminals full support, cooperation as they explore business opportunities within the maritime corridor. Deputy Controller Adigo also commended officers for their dedication and exemplary hard work. He encouraged them to improve teamwork as a collective approach to facilitate legitimate trade. He also highlighted the need for a broader sister agency and stakeholders collaboration by paying them attention to regulatory standards. This visit provided him with a brief but yet thorough understanding of the command's operatives, thereby bolstering his supervisory control over all bonded terminals within the command. His focus on operational excellence, strict compliance, accountability, and overall facilitation of legitimate trade was the hallmark of the visit. I mean, well, it's expected as a new controller, he needs to move around and share news and see things for himself.
Yeah.
But interestingly,
familiarized with the environment.
Interestingly, the command is really going through a lot now because from the information we're gathering from terminals that are working within that that command, they're saying that boxes are not being released to them from the major
mother
ports.
ports.
Yes, and it's really affecting the business, especially within the command. And so we're asking the CG of Customs, the management team, to look into what KLT is going through. KLT, as we know, is a dry port. I mean, it doesn't have water, and it survives from the use of Transaya to move containers from the mother ports to KLT. So I think it's something that the CG should look into with his management team, and we also expect that the new acting area commander, controller, DC Adigo, will be on his toes to ensure that the business he's talking about, the facilitation of trade, really comes to light.
Yeah, my input here is it comes in the form of a question. I want to imagine that there's a particular laid down procedure on how KLT does business in terms of supply of cargoes or movement of cargoes through Transai, like you said, from either the Tinkan Island Port Command or the Apapa Command to those dry ports, the KLT and the rest of them. So is it that the laid down procedure or the agreement is not being followed? Why are cargoes not released for them to process and then be eventually released to the owners? Is it a question of dysfunctional arrangement, or that some people are bent on frustrating that particular command from meeting its objective? What is really the problem?
Well, I know that when you had the former controller,
Joy Adelduk.
Yes, Joy Adelduk. She most times had to go, cap in hands to the
mother ports.
The mother ports, begging for Transayas to be signed and released for her to be able to meet her targets. And I think it's a continuum, That's why I said it's something that the management of Nigerian Customs need to sit down and decide, because there are a lot of people who have invested so much money in setting up bonded terminals and working under KOT. Mm-hmm. So what do you want them to do? It has to be defined properly, because you also have men and officers who are custom officers who are earning salary in KOT. So, it's something that the management of Nigerian Customs need to look into and resolve, so that this, because everybody keeps talking about facilitation of trade, but then there are a lot of checkpoints, like we used to have at Seme border, a lot of checkpoints that make it difficult for these things to work.
Somebody is smiling. All right, moving forward. Shippers Council approves tariff increase for shipping lines, set to review color charges January 2026. The Nigerian Shippers Council has said that it has approved an increase in charges for shipping companies in Nigeria, even as it taxed the companies to carry out sensitization of its customers before effecting the increases. This is even as the council has disclosed plans to review charges of the electronic call-up system operated by the Truck Transit Park Limited in collaboration with the Nigerian Ports Authority, the NPA. Even though details of the shipping tariff increments were not given, the Shippers Council Executive Secretary / Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Pius Akuta, during a stakeholders meeting at the council's headquarters in Apapa on Friday, said the council, as a port economic regulator, is aware of the planned increment and is sanctioned it. Dr. Pius Akuta, who was represented at the meeting by the Director of Regulatory Services, Mrs. Margaret Ubunna, said they have been asking for this review since the beginning of the year 2025. Towards the end of the year, we reviewed some, but not all the nomenclatures of charges, but those that have been impacted by the indices of affecting you and I in our personal lives. So, for those ones, we approved a marginal increase, but they are to first of all carry their customers along and discuss it first. Two of them have carried out these discussions and said the customers now understand the need for the marginal increment. Dr. Akuta also said that the council has been inundated with complaints on the arbitrary increases in the call-up system, in the call-up tickets for trucks entering into the ports. We assure the stakeholders that the council has begun engagements with the Nigerian Ports Authority and TTP in order to resolve the matter. We have heard about the call-up ticket charges. We have invited TTP. We have invited MPA for discussions over it. TTP came, but MPA didn't come. Now this is quite interesting. One government agency, the economic regulator of the ports, held a meeting here talking about meetings with stakeholders. One thing I need to know, I thought this shipping lines and terminal operators had an increase last year or so. Why approving another increase again? Is it because of the inflationary rate, or what is the reason? Well, they have approved it. But on the other hand, the second thing, why did MPA not turn up at a meeting where a sister agency that has the same interest, protecting government assets and raising revenue for government, did not come to the meeting? I hope there's no kind of inter-agency rivalry that is brewing that we do not know anything about. No, what is the problem?
The question we should be asking is, who is in charge? Who is the regulatory?
MPA is in charge of they own the port. They are the landlords. But the Nigerian Shippers Council are the economic regulators of all maritime activities within Nigeria.
So what it means is that the regulators are in charge.
They are in charge.
So Nigerian Ports Authority must submit. It's as simple as ABCD. But if they refuse to submit, then it means, you see, this whole thing about the ATO call-up system, don't forget that there are a lot of complaints, and don't forget that the agreement between them and TTP, I think is has come to an end. It's coming to an end this month.
Yeah, but it's looking very likely that that may be
One of the reasons why they're refusing to come up.
Come on, yeah.
You know, because I'm sure they don't
there's
want
a
to
whole lot of
discuss.
issues on the ground. People complaining that it should be scrapped, or if it's not scrapped, they shouldn't be charging any money.
No,
And these arbitrary charges. That
What they want actually is for the issue of aid or the call-up system to be handled by the terminals.
Yeah,
Because these are the people who...
which they argue is the
makes more
the
sense.
proper thing to do.
It makes more sense because they relate more with these truck drivers. They know when it should go in, when it shouldn't go in, and all of that. So, Nigeria Port Authority, you need to come out clean and tell Nigerians why a meeting called for by the Shippers Council, you didn't even see the need to send a representative. You know, maybe what people are saying is the truth. Maybe there's a connivance between the Nigerian Port Authority and the TTP. I mean, we need to know, you know. So
Yeah, they need to clear the air on this.
honestly, all right. Calabar, Bakassi to witness safe navigational route and installed high-tech chart. In line with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope mantra for the blue economy, the country is strengthening its maritime safety and port access along the eastern seaboard with the release of 3 new ICENC validated electronic navigational charts for the Calabar-Bakassi corridor. The National Hydrographic Agency confirmed that the charts NG 455150 Jamestown, NG 525190 Queenstown to Ikot Abasi, and NG 542550 ports of Calabar have been validated by the International Center for Electronic Navigational Charts and released for use by maritime operating within Nigeria's coastal approaches. The development ensures that ships navigating through the Eastern Channel up to the inner port limits now rely on accurate Nigerian-produced digital charts. The ENCs provide comprehensive coverage of depths, hazards, aids to navigation and harbor infrastructure, enhancing situations awareness and enabling safer and more efficient vessel movements to Calabar Port and the planned Bakassi Deep Sea Port. The charts were generated from a recent high-resolution hydrographic survey of the Calabar-Bakassi axis conducted to international standards comparable to IHO's 44 Order 1, which applies to busy port approaches and harbor entrances. The survey officially began on 21st December 2024 with intense data acquisition, commencing on January 2025, combining hydrographic, geophysical, and geotechnical measurements using advanced NHA survey platforms and processing systems. I mean, this is good news. I mean, before now, we heard that vessels miss their way. They have to be doing hide and seek and finding a way to get through the waters. But with this, it's a very wonderful one. So we say kudos to the minister, kudos to Mr. President, kudos to all those who have worked hard to ensure that this happens. We are hoping that in 2026, we'll have more of the ports, especially the eastern ports, opened up so that the facilitation of trade, which the government talks about,
Not a lot about,
will take place.
Effectively carried out. Yeah, that's a good one. Container blocking. We intercepted an already cleared container of arms, tramadol, from Lagos ports. Police. Now, this is the police now reacting to...
they're not responding.
what we read about earlier. The Maritime Police Command at Kamsalem House, Obalindi, Lagos, has said that it has intercepted container laden with arms and another with tramadol, which has already scaled through all clearance processes by relevant agencies at the Lagos port. Public Relations Officer of the command, ASP Adebayo Rashid, stated this on Friday at a stakeholders meeting organized by the Nigerian Shippers Council to address complaints emanating from clearing agents and high freight forwarders on the random blocking of containers by the Maritime Police Command and alleged gratification. ASP Rashid stated that the police carries out its operations based on intelligence, assuring that the police will not compromise national security on the altar of trade facilitation. According to him, blocking of containers by the police cannot be stopped. He, however, called on stakeholders to report cases of extortion by any officer of the Office of the Assistant Inspector General of Police, Maritime Command. The police image maker also debunked reports that the Shippers Council was conniving with some officers to extort clearing agents on blocked containers, adding that the council has always only been at the forefront of fighting for the right of port stakeholders. Well, it's good that the police also coming out to react to some of the allegations of illegally, or rather blocking containers on the flimsy excuse of suspecting it to carry something which is illegal. Well, there's always like they say, like we say in the journalist parlance, there are three sides to a story: your side, my side, and the truth.
No, but I want to honestly disagree with this statement. It's an indictment not only on the other agencies, because if you're saying that you had some form of information regarding a container that is carrying, why didn't you bring it up at the port?
Exactly.
You know, why didn't your intel? Why didn't you make your intel available to the customs, to the NDLEA, to other agencies that were at the port?
Because there's interagency collaboration.
You even have maritime police officers during examination. You have them during examination. So why didn't the police use their internal mechanism to say, okay, this container is carrying tramadol or carrying arms?
It's not just an internal mechanism. There's interagency collaboration within the port.
Why would you now allow it to leave the port and then you go and block it outside? Is it eye service? That's what I foresee here. If that is really what has happened, it means that
it could be mischief.
No, it means that the collaboration is gone. There's no collaboration. So the Nigerian police need to, and then they now sound very sarcastic, telling you cannot stop us from. I mean, they shouldn't create problem for the Nigerian customs.
This attitude of Nigerian police, be it at the maritime police or the regular police, I don't think it's right. I told you about a press conference I attended some time ago when everybody was talking, and the representative of the police that came there said the law says that they must be everywhere they can be, and as many as possible in any particular place at any particular given time. But we now ask, how come they are not along let them come and stay along the airport road here, close to us here? I mean, mount about 5-6 checkpoints. Why is it?
There's one.
No, like not just one.
Okay.
Like 5-6 checkpoints. No, why is it only at the economic corridors that you have them?
Because like we know, when you look at semi border coming down, I mean, we hear that custom has dismantled
a whole lot of
checkpoints, but the police has refused.
Police and immigration and
so we keep asking, who is the image maker of this country? Who is damaging the image of the country? The Nigerian police need to sit up. The IG of police need to call his men to order. I don't understand. I mean, it's like the other day we have reading reports where they said the IG is now asking people to help in reporting policemen who are still following VIPs. It shouldn't be that way. You should have a database of your men. You should know how many police officers you have. You should know where the police officers are posted at every point in time. So this excuse for me.
The attitude is sometimes I wouldn't want to use the word of obnoxious, but it's unbecoming. You can't be giving this kind of excuse that you
had intelligence.
Yes, you had intelligence after a container has been cleared at the port where your men were
on ground.
The customs were there. The DSS was there, NDLEA was there, all the government agencies that are supposed to be there when these things are being examined were there, including your people, and this container of tramadol was not found. only for it to be released, and outside probably a few meters away.
You're not get an intel.
Yes.
I mean, that's funny.
And you are telling us that you get it arrested. It's not. It's what some people call a cock and bull story. I do not personally believe that.
It is what it is.
They are just trying to make excuse for them.
They're trying to launder their own image. All right.
Yes, moving further.
Okay.
The Oyetola describes Bakassi Deep Sea Port as strategic assets, aligns with PBAT's Renewed Hope agenda. The Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Dr. Adigboyega Oyetola, has described the Bakassi Deep Sea Port as a strategic national asset that aligns squarely with the Renewed Hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu, particularly in repositioning Nigeria as a competitive maritime and logistics hub. Dr. Oyetola disclosed this when Governor of Cross River State, Senator Bassey Otu, paid him a visit at his office in Abuja. He presented the certificate of compliance for the Bakassi Deep Sea Port to the Governor of Cross River State, Senator Bassey Otu, and assured that the federal government will continue to support Cross River State to ensure successful delivery of the port. The minister lauded Governor Otu's commitment and peace in driving the project. This project has the capacity to significantly boost livelihoods, create jobs, and expand economic opportunities not only for Cross River State but for Nigeria as a whole, Dr. Oyetola said, adding that the federal government remains committed to sustained collaboration with the state government and private sector partners to bring the project to fruition. Yes, I know listeners will soon call in to talk about the ports, Eastern ports functioning and all that, and development of other ports within the country. This is a good move. We're talking about this deep sea port in Akwa Ibom, and then of course, the Cross River State also has they are planning to build their own deep sea port. It's a welcome. Laudable projects if it's the light of the day. You know, that's because it's one thing to start something in Nigeria, it's another thing to finish it on time and in a cost-effective manner. So that doesn't become a white elephant project as most of the projects are. No, but for me, I think the beautiful thing is the fact that whether we like it or not, government is thinking in the direction of opening seaports in the south, especially south. If they do that, I'm sure the prices of goods will come down, because you'll not be faced with dealing with internal transportation process, and that will also involve that government must call the agencies on the road to order, because even as it is now, you're moving your goods from Lagos to say Calabar. Other than the fact that the roads are bad, and there's pressure on the road, there are too many checkpoints and too many taxis going on. So government needs to wake up. It's not just about creating avenue for people to make unnecessary and unremitted funds for themselves, but we must do something that will filter down to the ordinary Nigerians. National single window won't replace customs formalities, official clarifies. The Nigerian Customs Service has clarified that the National Single Window project, which is expected to be launched in the first quarter of year 2026, is not coming to replace customs formalities or take away the duties and functions of the Nigerian Customs Service. National Public Relations Officer of Customs, a Deputy Controller of Customs, Dr. Abdullahi Mewada, stated this on Wednesday while giving a lecture at the 10th annual seminar for maritime journalists organized by First Medicon Network Limited in partnership with the Nigerian Shippers Council in Lagos. Dr. Meidawa said that the Nigerian Customs Service is fully involved in the Single Windows project, and that the service is also engaging stakeholders on the use of its trade facilitation tools in order to make their cargo clearance seamless under the Single Window platform. The Nigerian Customs Service is fully involved in the National Window project. The chairman of Federal Inland Revenue has visited customs more than twice. There is a high level of collaboration and engagement. In terms of integration, our ICT team
are working closely with the National Single Window Committee in terms of technicalities of tariff and trade. The Customs Tariff and Trade Department are equally working with the committee. The National Single Window is not working in isolation of the Nigerian Customs Service. We are working together as a team to make sure that the vision of Mr. President is achieved by first quarter of 2026. We are part of it, we are fully embedded in it, and we would continue to support the project. Speaking on the relevance of customs formalities like the Form M, pre-arrival assessment report PAR, and post-clearance audit PCA, and others, Dr. Medawa reiterated that the National Single Window is not here to take away customs procedures and formalities. There are technical engagement sessions between Customs and the Single Window Committee where we even discussed the importance of PAR. The PAR is a pre-arrival document. PCA is a post-clearance audit. These are customs formalities recognized internationally by WCO. They are all standardized. The single window is not coming to replace customs formalities, but to bring all agencies together under one single point. I mean, there has always been this fear that the national single window was going to...
the formalities of the Nigerian Customs
Yes,
Service.
and it was going to render a lot of people unemployed.
Jobless. No.
So, but if that happens, let's assume it happens, well, the government will have no choice than to deploy custom officers to the borders.
Other areas.
Yes, let them go and guard the borders and all of that. But he has clarified it, and I think it has put paid to the fear of a lot of stakeholders and officers of the Nigerian Custom regarding the single window.
My takeaway here is the fact that the customs continue to engage with the media and making clarifications on some of the operations and some of their intentions and innovations that they are developing. This presentation was made at another sort of conference organized by the media. It's sort of media parley, but it's not media parley per se. This one was organized by a media group, and this clarification was made. That was on Wednesday. The media parley was on Friday. I actually attended that. So it's nice seeing that they are, like you have always worried about, they are actually trying to carry as many stakeholders along as possible. It's a nice one. Nigeria Customs Service commences enforcement of penalties against designated banks for delayed remittance of customs revenue. The Nigeria Customs Service (NCS) has stated that it will penalize designated banks which delay remittance of customs revenues collected by them at a stipulated time. It stated that the banks shall be liable to penalty interest calculated at 3% above the prevailing Nigerian interbank offered rate (NIBOR) for the duration of the delay. This was disclosed in a statement issued on behalf of the Controller General of the NCS, CGC, Bashir Adewale Adeniyi, MFR, by the National Public Relations Officer of the Service, Deputy Comptroller Abdullahi Mewada. The NCS reiterates that prompt, accurate, and complete remittance of customs revenue is a functional obligation of designated banks. Any payment of collected revenue into unauthorized accounts, whether deliberate or erroneous, will be treated as a serious violation and addressed in accordance with the SLA and applicable legal frameworks. Designated banks are therefore advised to strengthen internal controls, ensure strict adherence to remittance timeliness, and comply fully with the provisions of the SLA. The service remains committed to enforcing accountability, safeguarding government revenue, and promoting a transparent and predictable financial system in support of national economic development. Well, yes, sometimes it's very good for one to take firm action against any kind of, let me, in my own words, recalcitrant attitude, because I've heard a lot of times when the customs service complain about the banks not remitting the accrued revenue from that they collected on their behalf to them or to at the appropriate time. This is not right. You have an agreement. You collect this money on my behalf. Then at the appropriate time, remit this money to certain accounts. Why is it not done? You're a private. These banks are private businesses doing business on the part on behalf of the government. Why not pay the money as at when due?
Really interestingly, I don't know why we're making so much noise around this. It shouldn't happen in the first place. The banks are, to a large extent, we cannot exonerate the banks, but I don't understand why somebody will go to the bank and pay money that is meant to go into an account, and the bank will still sit on it. It doesn't make sense. I mean, so many times I've heard people who have said, "Oh, we'll send money to your account. Go and check." Sometimes it takes 2 hours, 3 hours. Sometimes middle of the night you just get an alert. But I thought the banks have a seamless system that works automatically, because the person making the payment needs to have that money drop in the account of the Nigerian customs for you to be able to follow other modalities of clearing your goods. So I would support customs that any erring bank should be brought, to public, so that we know that we need to instill this discipline in our accounting system. People must be accountable for their actions.
Exactly.
All right. Fresh crisis hits tax laws as reps begin probe. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Representative Tajuddin Abbas, has constituted a 7-member ad hoc committee to investigate allegations of discrepancies between tax bills passed by the National Assembly and the versions later ascended to and gazetted. The committee was set up on Thursday during preliminary with Representative Mukhtar Aliyu Batara named as chairman. Other members are Representative Ahmed Idris Wase, Sada Soli, James Abiodun Falake, Fred Agbedi, Babajimi Benson, and Eduma Egawe. The decision followed a matter of privilege raised on Wednesday by Representative Abud Samad Dasuki, PDP Sokoto, who alleged that the contents of the tax laws as gazetted differed from what lawmakers debated, voted on, and passed in the National Assembly. Raising the issue under Order 6, Rule 2 of the House Rules, Dasuki said his legislative privilege had been breached. He told the House that after the passage of the tax bills, he reviewed the gazetted copies alongside the votes and proceedings of the House of Representatives, as well as the harmonized version adopted by both chambers, and observed what he described as discrepancies. He cautioned that presenting laws different from those duly passed by the National Assembly could undermine public confidence in the legislature and raise constitutional concerns. I mean, when this news broke, a lot of us felt bad that, if this happens to be true, then we've got a long way to go.
It's I don't know, when people talk about people demarcating in Nigeria, they probably accuse journalists and maybe individuals for not writing things or not saying things that are favorable to the country. I think it's the politicians, the political class, that have demarcated this country the most, in their utterances, in their actions, and their inactions. I mean, it doesn't. How was the justification where the House, both sessions of the houses, we'll talk about the House of Rep here and the Senate, they passed a bill to be signed into law, and the copy of the one that was agreed, passed, is different from the one that has been signed. You assented to by the president. Between when the bill was passed and passed to the president and the copy given to the president and the time it was signed, who made the alterations?
Well,
why was the alteration effected?
If we confirm,
and what did they tend to achieve with that?
If we confirm that there was an alteration, I'm sure we're going to be sent back to the same way we've been asking, that when the children were being kidnapped, who called off the military that were guarding the place? So, you know, the sad reality is that we keep asking questions and nobody is willing and ready to give us answers. And it is very, very painful, you know. But we hope that it is, as it is said, it's an alleged. What we need to confirm, we expect that this committee will not take forever to do their work. They should know that there is an issue of national importance and that they should be deliberate of what they're about to do.
Yes, listeners, this is the Maritime and Border Show with Dele Utomi
and Prince Chilaka.
Yeah, today we have a guest at the studio. He's raring to go. He's Chief Ejike Metu. He's been here once, and we brought him again because the session where he came here, it was very interesting for a number of reasons. We decided to bring him back again, and he's here willing. He's been nodding and laughing and shaking his head about all the things that we've been speaking about, the news we've been reading, and our reactions. Chief, sir.
No,
there's something.
No, don't ask the question. No, Didi, hold on. This is to let our listeners know that we're right now on VOP 90.3 FM.
Yeah.
We're also on the social media.
Exactly.
YouTube, where, you know, if you can watch us on YouTube live, you know, so that you won't say, oh, you didn't know what was going on. I don't have a radio. If you don't have a radio, go to YouTube. You know, join us on YouTube.
Of course, it's the interactive session we will kick in later and we read out the numbers that you have to call. Chief, before we go to the main topic of today, which is the main topic that we're discussing today is a critical look at the probable impact of trade on the recent traffic gridlock along the Lagos-Badagry Expressway. Things, of course, that's your area, where you do your business.
No, the last time he came here, if you recall, Chief was avoiding a lot of questions, and I hope he will not avoid them today.
No, of course not.
Because we're direct answers.
He has told me in confidence that he's not going to give political answers. That is going to be as objective as possible.
Okay.
But I want to ask him about this particular issue we read about before, the issue of the, this recurring complaints about the Nigerian police always stopping cargoes that have been cleared at the port.
No, to be specific, the maritime police.
The maritime police. A few meters away from the port, you see them standing, and the next thing they impound certain containers and take them to some of their places, and then there are reports, there are accusations of extortion of money from the stakeholders. What's your own perspective on that, sir?
Thank you very much for having me here again today. And this question you have thrown back to me, when you were discussing it and giving different perspective to it, yes, I was nodding, and because it's laughable that you have such information, being an intelligence unit or part of the whole thing, and you are holding it back, waiting. And the irony of the whole thing is the weightiness of that allegation, arms and ammunition and tramadol, and you kept quiet.
You're part of the examination.
You are part of the whole thing in the port. Why were you waiting for these containers? And my question to them is, where are these containers now?
Exactly.
Because you can't just make those allegations. You have arrested the containers. Where are they? Containers have numbers. Can you, if this thing is pushed, because when you make such allegations, you are also shifting the blame to the agencies in the port, the CAC, Custom, every other agency. You have not only labeled them, it's a question of you have made this allegation, and you have to prove it. Yeah. Because he who alleges must prove. just some few meters away from the port, you accosted a container. You're telling me it's carrying arms and ammunition.
And drugs.
And drugs. Not just drugs, sir, because when you say drugs, every drug is not illicit.
Tramadol.
I mentioned very specific about tramadol. Yeah. For a reason. It's supposed to make news. Or why did you not relay this information to the agencies in the port? You see, boys, and to the question we ask, you raised the issue of MP and shipping and shippers council. I was here one of the days, you read the way they said, who is in charge? Is it the Minister of Finance or the custom management? How can a micro be bigger than a macro? The issue of the question in Kwara State, who gave the order? Up to today, nobody has answered that. And we have a hierarchy of authority and command in these things. Why this silence? When people say we are a whatever country and you start quarreling, you're not supposed to, because he who gathers anti-infested firewood has invited the lizard to a festival.
Yeah.
So we have to blame ourselves. But I've noticed one thing. In Nigeria, people are ready to take positions of authority. But when it comes to responsibility, they will shake it.
No,
they will deny it. I'm not asking you. No.
He's giving his opinion. He's giving his opinion.
Sir, it is not an issue of responsibility. They shy away from being accountable.
See, we are saying the same thing in different ways. No, thank you for helping me.
Yes,
so that if there is a repercussion, they will hold you. I use the word I want to use.
Yes.
You understand me?
He's actually addressing your point.
Yes. It's a question of the availability of different languages to use.
Yeah.
You understand? I say, when you take a position of authority, it comes with responsibilities. Yeah. What are those responsibilities? If anything happens within the sphere of that authority, you must be bold enough to say, this falls under my authority, and I'm taking responsibility. But it doesn't happen in our country. If not, we have commander-in-chief. You are commanding the army. Bring down the unit, the hierarchy of authority.
To the lowest person.
To the Kwara command. Yeah. That particular military command in Kwara State. To that school, in the first place. Who delegated those people to secure the school?
It's not a Katsina.
Is
no,
it
he's talking about the Kwara own.
It's the Kwara own.
You know, where
they say they had the security men there
it's Niger State.
Okay. Yes. Okay, wherever. But it's in Nigeria.
Yeah, it is.
But you know why this thing is confusing us? You hear the same story
every day,
repeating itself
in every one location to the other.
I was not scandalized. I was not scandalized when a minister said that what is it called? Zambia's forest is so thick that bomb cannot even penetrate it in 2025. And the Israelis will bomb 200 meters down inside the ground to the earth. In 2025, a minister is telling me that Zambia, even if you are talking about Bermuda Triangle, but that's by the way. I think that this issue of maritime police should be taken up seriously, because the implications are very diverse and damaging. As much as you want to do what we know we do, because the problem I have with Nigeria is once you form a committee, you have opened the bank for them.
Yeah. Personally, I think the PRO person, that person who made that comment about this isn't the container, I think it did more damage to their image than
that is what we are saying. Because the PRO, before you go on SE, it's not everything. When we did population crisis management, it's not everything that comes to you must answer to.
Yeah.
Because your answer
silence would have been golden in this case.
Silence would have been, because sometimes people are given positions of authority where they don't know what to do with it. Because fine, if you had kept quiet, or okay, I'll get back to you. It depends on when he gets back. But making these categorical statements are not only damaging to themselves, because without being an intelligence officer, but as a journalist, I am one. We have our ways. And we know where these things are coming from. Tramadol and arms can freely be, that's what you're saying, be released. By who and whom? Where and when? In what occasion? After all the exams?
Well, Chief Ejike, let me ask. you're also a stakeholder.
Of where?
You're a stakeholder in the maritime industry.
Okay. I want to be short.
I want to understand what is
Certainly
the
not a
role
police.
of the maritime police.
Police.
Because why I'm asking this question is that when you look at agencies that are involved in carrying out examination of cargo, you have the DSS, you have the NDLE, you have SON, you have NAVDAC, you have
the customs,
maritime,
of course.
you have anti-bomb, then you have maritime police, then you have the umbrella body, the customs.
And you have the on-call bomb, anti-bomb and the on-call bomb.
Now the question is, with all of this,
with all these
who
retinue of agencies, intelligence agencies.
Because now we are putting it on the foot of the PRO of the maritime police to come and show Nigerians this cargo.
These were when I started to, I said the only solution is these are the containers, these are the numbers, these are where we go, because we are not talking about invisible things here.
Well, I mean, we're talking about arms. What we are talking about is
Tangible
security.
goods.
And tangible goods and the implication of the items mentioned. If you're talking about maybe anyway, why are we surprised? Is it not in Nigeria we are looking at a ship and they told you that the ship is missing? So anything is possible.
All right, sir. The main topic of the day, we're talking about the implication, probable economic implication of the traffic gridlock that we have been having along the Lagos-Badagry corridor. What do you think?
What is the cost? Let's start from the cost.
Yes. What do you think it has cost the country?
No, not cost the country. What has cost
the cost.
Yes.
You see, in recent times, I have been very selective in what I make my prayer points, because I reverse the rule. If you are God, and the kind of prayer points we have in Nigeria, you have money in the bank, so I wish I pray if I get there, let them give me my money. If you want to take money from the ATM, say, oh, let there be network. It's only in Nigeria. I'm beginning to wonder, why is it everything that comes to Nigeria will always change? I remember growing up, how do they call it, geographically, if you're going to the Sahara, the population is less. But when you're going to the coast, it's but in Nigeria, Kano has more population than Lagos.
Which is...
And it's only in Nigeria you put your television on. Once there's rain, it will go off. I asked a question, how come those who manufacture this,
is it the television that goes out, or is it
the signal? The signal. I'm talking about the signal.
The cable.
Forget the electricity thing. Because it's only in Nigeria we know there's band A, B, C, D.
Bandwagon as well.
Bandwagon, same Nigeria. And these are prayer points. You are going home. Prayer points. There was a joke yesterday when we said somebody was praying and said that the God who said that let there be light, and there was a say light that there's only Nigeria disobeyed that instruction. There's no light. That's by the way. So what we are talking about Nigeria, that road, when I started this way, is we apply that road on daily basis, going to work. Okay. And you waste a hell of man-hour, economically and otherwise. Simplest thing I will tell you, Nana, the commercial transmitters from Badagry to my 2, without that gridlock, maybe 3-4 times in a day.
Yeah.
Before now. But they can't even make one again today. I am using the lowest decimal transport commuters, commercial commuters from Badagry to my 2. Then you can imagine the Abara end. You see, because what they are doing in a day is, if we can make 5-6 trips, we pay our fuel, we return money to the owner of the vehicle. Why I'm using this graphically is for us to understand the implication of a higher. When you talk about trucks coming in, how long do they take? Fine, they can wait very much in the night. But generally, I don't even think that this should be a question of what are the implications or whatever. I am thinking that we need to be very thorough in saying it the way it should be. Road construction for how many years? Contract awarded for how many? I'll give you an example. Shagamu, Lagos, Badon Road. Since I came to Lagos, there's always a contract on that road every day. Now, this is December period. If you go, if you are going home, if you are going to what is it, Ijebode axis now. Shagamu, you can't pass it. What do? They go through. They are going through. What is this other road? Lagos, VI,
Aja,
Lekki, Aja. They are going through Aja. Coming to this one that affects me every day. What it does to us is not just about the economic side of it, the health implication, the psychological pains. Unfortunately for me, coming back, I'll be sleeping. But what of the person that is driving?
Exactly.
I'm very thank God I came here, because how long will it take for that road from that Baji? The last time we were coming back from work, we left the border around 2. But you cannot believe that from around that 2, where is that? What is this place called? Agbara. Agbara. The Gridlock had passed Agbara, past the College of Education, where we saw where I was at a search.
Lord have
by 3 o'clock. By 3 o'clock, then forget the night.
This is almost about 10 kilometers apart.
Forget it. This afternoon, then you begin to wonder what happens in the night. Security implication of it. Robbery. All manner of things. What happens to your vehicle? Because the problem is not just about human beings. Both human and any human object suffer in Nigeria. The vehicle, if you're managing it to go, and maybe a spot and stops, you start to kick it, it won't start again. But if the road were free, it would have managed it home. And you see people trekking from Okoko, past Agbara. Those living in Badagry, it's after that they now use Okada.
Okay.
Okada.
Oh.
Yes.
Between Agbara and Badagry, we are talking about probably around 30 kilometers or 40 kilometers.
In a way, just to tone down the heaviness of this. And, it's okay, good for our health, for us to be trekking, because we are used to trekking.
That's in a lighter mood.
In a lighter mood, sincerely.
You talked about road construction. Is it the road construction that's causing this gridlock?
Primary number 1.
And what are the other things that are causing this gridlock?
The road construction, if you go there, you see yes, they are working. But the question is this the way all roads all over the world are built? We through the internet, we see, I am sorry I will say this, you see, Chinese roads.
Don't be sorry for what you're saying.
Yeah, Chinese road, they say, even the worst of terrains, over mountains, over waters, in 6 months, you see magic done through technology. But in our own 60 years, the same road. Now you ask me, even if you are constructing a road, is it not also possible for you to have ameliorated the suffering? Or before you even do that, you would have imagined this is what will happen.
Exactly.
You understand? So you must make it easier for them to find an alternative.
As management of the remaining parts of the
management is you said the primary cause is that construction going on for now. Then other ones we can blame ourselves. One, our indiscipline in driving, the yellow buses and the way they do their own thing. And when you talk about, when you say congestion, you have gridlock, you have jam and all those things. But I think after that construction, yes, is our indiscipline in driving. Because if we were to go, okay, one by one, line by line, it will take time, but I don't think it will take, that's it. Because you see on the same line, a particular group of commuters will be passing, and then those that are supposed to be going this way, the other side of the traffic, will be blocked. And nobody moves eventually. Yeah. But if we discipline ourselves, say, fine, I'm giving this to you, are going gradually, one by one, it will work.
Chief Metu,
and again, you find that many times government agencies and big officials with their retinue of police who will even be plugging vehicles and hitting them to leave the road for them.
Compounding the situation.
And there was a word you used, and I think I will say ordinary Nigerians.
Yeah.
as a journalist and as a person, I don't like that word. You know, because one, nobody's ordinary in Nigeria. If we are ordinary, then we have an ordinary president. It flows down. A Nigerian citizen is a Nigerian citizen and must be accorded that citizenship, both in words and in action. When you tell me ordinary you, I will do the ordinary things you will not expect. I just want to...
Of course, we normally mean that by talking about the regular folks. Not
you see, that is what we are saying, regular folks. But you see, that is where we do ourselves a lot of damage. Because they say there's power in this.
Are you saying that? Are you saying that we should not call the regular people the ordinary Nigerians? This is how your government refers to them.
You see what you are saying. You don't even know what you say. You say regular people, ordinary people. Yes. Regular people, ordinary people.
Because
how many citizenship do we have in Nigeria?
One now.
A Nigerian citizen. You said that you're a Nigerian citizen. You are a Nigerian. I will make an example. And why I'm making this example, that an American citizen, no matter what he has done, will subtly warn you, I'm an American citizen. And true to that word, America will look for that person, not mind it.
Do they do that for Nigeria?
Who?
The government.
How can they do that when you have stratified the citizens?
It is not the it is not the people that have stratified. It is the government. Because when
good is coming from your mouth.
Wait.
Chilaka, thank you.
Yes. When they say they want to share palliatives, how do they refer to those who the palliatives are going to?
The ordinary Nigerians.
Thank you.
And thank you too. But seriously speaking, because when you, there was something he said, and you said you must say it the way it is. It's about time we also, because somebody is calling you ordinary, quote and unquote, they say we vote. Fine. I will be very frank with you. When they say Q, if I like, let me they carry me. Military Q is a Q. Rigging yourself into a position. It's a Q.
Constitutional coup.
Constitutional Q, my brother. So it's a question of that fear. If you are not legitimate in anything you're doing, you will be singing on it because you know it doesn't belong to you.
No, are you trying to wait?
No, I'm not trying anything. I'm not trying anything.
Are you alleging? Are you alleging?
Like the average Nigerian will say, "You know who I am." Are
you alleging?
Alleging what?
That the reason why we now have a song that seems to have taken over our national anthem is because of fear of legitimacy.
You see, if men and women of senatorial and the green and the red chamber don't know any other poem to sing, is on your mandate. They are telling you they are not sure of that your mandate. I didn't say it, they are saying it. Exactly. My brother, we understand English language, not our language. If at every point in time you are singing on your mandate, what it means that you are even afraid that this mandate has a command. Why are you singing it? Of all things you can do, it's just every other time you see them stand up singing. I don't have any problem. We have a president, constitutionally approved president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Legally approved.
Legally approved. So why must you always disturb us with that on your mandate? Does he have another mandate from the one the constitution has given him?
Probably.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Something they know.
Do you understand me? The other day, the Senate president was as loquacious as ever. I'm very sorry I will say this, because I think they don't say. On that horse seat that President Trump is on his neck. What can you make? Are you shaking? Didn't you hear it?
Of course I heard it. I watched it.
Because this one it's not a question of I was misquoted.
No, it's all over the place.
No, but you know Nigerian politicians. I mean, let us be very sincere with ourselves. It's always Nigeria is the only country where I see somebody who will grant a press interview.
So misquoted.
And then an SA.
We'll come back
and say he didn't say. I'm asking. When you say somebody is misquoted, I sit down here and I'm sitting behind the microphone and I'm saying, Chief Metu, you are not passing the right information. And then tomorrow somebody will say, no, that was not what I said, but I said it. So why is the problem?
The problem is they refuse to grow with time and technology. I remember the era of NTA and Daily Times. They can always edit anything and say I was misquoted.
News.
Not now. When the phone you have, because when you say you are misquoted and They bring out, thank God. What is it called? Internet does not forget. They give you back. They give it back to you.
That's good.
They give you back to you. This is you are misquoted. Were you speaking Swahili? That you are misquoting anybody. And the example you use, why wouldn't the person who made that statement come and tell us he's misquoted? That is the PA. Like you said, why won't you keep quiet? So, this gridlock, sincerely speaking, I will be on that road tomorrow morning. I'm already praying. We're already praying.
So, sir, would you put a figure to? Is it possible to put a figure at the losses you are incurring with that gridlock? You can.
There are certain things you can't quantify financially. I talked about the health implication. The health implication of it: respiratory, cardiovascular, the tension, the weight. Yeah. And you see, we are not talking about human beings alone. We're talking about those vehicles too.
Yeah.
We're talking about them.
Okay, let's.
So we are losing billions.
Okay, what is billions?
Let's digress a bit. We're talking about gridlocks. A lot of people are traveling to the east.
Yes.
And I hear that the Benin bypass is a no-go area. Is that also not part of the problem?
You hear that the Benin bypass is not.
Yeah, it's alleged because
you hear.
Yes.
You see, you see, sometimes when you want to tell somebody to go to hell, don't even insult the person because you might see it as an insult. Tell her to go pass through the Benin bypass. It's the easiest way.
Don't you think you are exaggerating, sir?
Whatever interpretation you give is your perception of it. And I will tell you. But I tell people that I can't go to hell again. I'm already in hell. You can't be a Nigerian and go to hell 2 times. That's not fair.
Are you saying
that? You mean God, it would be unfair to send in Nigeria?
If there is hell, no Nigerian will go to hell again.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take you on something. You talked about there's this thing you talked about citizenship.
Yes.
And you made reference to an American always saying, "I am an American."
Subtly warning you in that statement and in that language.
I am an American.
Yes.
And I asked,
what does I was watching at Probable because I said comedians, they have a way of sending the message to you. He said the British passport is red. The American passport is blue. The Nigerian passport is green. He now told us what is written. I said, go and read the passport you hold. He said, this passport is the product, is a property of Nigerian government. Anywhere you see the passport, return it back. Whereas American passport said, the holder of this passport is an American citizen. Give whatever assistance you can to the person. You are only telling them to repatriate you back. Go and put the check out. You say, most of these things we don't say. Comedians have a way of having this poetic license
to say
and they deliver it.
Okay, Chief. Let me ask. Don't you think, that this question of citizenship, boils down to the fact that in Nigeria today we're still talking about state of origin instead of state of residence?
You see, that is why I said, when you asked, I said, which class of citizenship? You say, hey, I am in Nigeria, and we are saying Nigeria is our country. There are nations in Nigeria, nations, and the politicians will tell you when it suits them, one Nigeria, an indivisible country. Indivisible, and you are telling me, I am from the East, I contest election in Lagos, and they'll tell me, go back to your place. But I am not even holding it to Lagos, because even if you go to the East, I'm from Anambra State. If you go tell me to contest election, say go back to your state. You understand? Because when we talk from the micro down to the macro down to the micro, you find that even in your munna, they start to question your legitimacy in that munna.
Exactly.
You understand me?
They say,
it's not a question of what we are saying here today. Maybe so. If you don't want to take it seriously, it affects the way the world, because it's what you call yourself. Now, people, I am not used to traveling overseas. My children do, my brothers do, and they will tell you once they see green, Nigerian green, they will just deal with you anyhow. A practical example, the last time my brother was going to, he said they got to, what was that? Is it Côte d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, or Togo? Say, Nigerian passengers were the last to be attended to. But what we are saying is nothing secret. Abororo said, you can't hold a British passport more than 3 seconds. You return it. Same America. But Nigeria, they will even carry it and carry you back. These are not the issue of citizenship. Is not something you mouth. How have you, even our leaders, how have they addressed us? Ordinary Nigerians. Personally, I'm not ordinary. I'm a Nigerian citizen. Let them tell me otherwise. Because if I am ordinary, you that you are in the Senate, in the House, you are ordinary too. We collectively, ordinarily voted you in, quote and in quote, legitimately or illegitimately, whichever way, mandate or no mandate, you are there. You have taken it either by whichever way, and we know which way. And that is why you can look down on us now, because you're high up there in the Olympus. And call us ordinary Nigerians.
You still have not answered my questions.
So what do you want me to answer you?
Would it be preferable for us to discard state of origin and adopt state of residence?
What are we talking about? State of origin in Nigeria. It's either you're a Nigerian citizen or you're not a Nigerian citizen. I remember the Bush. One was a president, one was a governor.
Yeah.
In a different state.
Yeah. And
You understand?
At a time where governors are two different
I will
states.
also tell you, come back to that. I will use a particular man. They mentioned James Adeleke. He's representing Ikeja Federal Constituency.
Yes, yeah.
He went to Kwara State. He contested the governor.
Kogi,
yes.
He was supposed to be
He was deputy
to the man that died. Yeah.
Later, whatever happened before this other person came, Lagos. The one representing this one,
Lagos West.
Lagos West, in the House of Reps. Then is today a senator in Ogun State.
Yeah.
You understand me? But this issue of state of origin and whatever should not be. It's either you're a Nigerian or you're not a Nigerian. But all of us are guilty. All of us are, because even when I'm talking, I say I'm from Anambra State, I'm Monibo. You see, unconsciously, all of us are doing this. What is your name? Afam Beji Kemetu. Oh, first, you identify me as an Igbo man. Secondly, what state are you from? Why should you ask me that question? And I will stupidly answer, I'm from Anambra State. Oh, one name. You understand? But
it's one of them.
It's one of them. You say, my name is Demola. Demographically, you know, it's Yoruba. And that unconscious tribal thing comes in from the name. So the answer for me, how I wish if I wake up tomorrow going to work, they say no document in Nigeria will be a state of origin, local government, anything. But you know the implications of this, and this is where the core value of citizenship comes in and nationhood comes in.
So it's
only in Nigeria that people go for exam, the unity schools, they write JAMB. Somebody makes 260. Somebody makes 30. 260 won't go, 30 will go. All of us know what we're talking about. Yeah. So, for us to actually have what we want, there must be a rejig. Not just from nationhood, because as far as I'm concerned, when we sing the national anthem, the old new national anthem, they use 18 billion to reintroduce. Because the question, even
I don't even know the new one you're talking about.
God bless you. Don't the new old one.
It was 8 billion. It was 8 billion, not 18.
18 billion. Go and check your record. Even if it's 100,000. How can you use it to something that's already existing?
Back with 8 billion naira. Well, Chief, we need to tell the listeners that they have to call in to ask questions.
I hope.
There are numbers.
Before we do that, Well, we have about 6 more minutes before we do that. What's your take on this?
36 more minutes.
No, 6. I said 6. What's your take on this open window? National Open Window Project. What's your take?
The Open Window Project, like you were extolling custom for
National Single Window.
You see, I even like the fact that they are sensitizing before the
implementation.
Yes, because many a time they will start a project, they will start anything without trying to know. You're supposed to test run. I'm happy the custom has gone out to say this will not stop this or that. Because when you talk about automation, people are jobs. I heard us jokingly say they will now put all the they will put the custom officers to the Zambeza forest so that all these problems will stop. That's an enlightenment. You can never know the importance of something until you have tested it. And based on technology, we should be open. But my fear that when it gets to Nigeria, whatever disease is still that's in our air, I hope it doesn't affect it even before landing. You understand?
All right. You're as somebody who is into the maritime industry, you have some affinity towards transportation. There's a battle going on right now between truck drivers, truck owners, Nigerian Ports Authority, and the ETO system. What do you think is the way forward?
ETO system. When we leave the world of reality and go to realism because of vested interest, this issue of logjam in interest comes in. You see, when you talked about a word came to my mind. It's no longer roadblock, it's administrative blocks. Anything you do, you find that somebody wants his truck to go in, and we're in a hurry. If they have said a standard fee of 10,000 naira, people go out of there and say, I want my truck to go in, I will pay 30, I will pay 40. And we have opened a window for them, because once you put that in, if not, you talk about the landlords and the NPA and the Shippers Council.
Yeah.
It's because many a time, even the people, I will tell you the truth, a lot of people don't even know what Shippers Council do or what it stands for. So because of that ignorance, you don't know where your right starts and where it ends. So what you're saying, they know what they're doing. Because as far as you have opened this and some people are eating out of it. I use that word eating with every sense of decorum and whatever. And we know in the Nigerian parlance, we manufacture words. We used to say kill him. Nobody talks about killing. I say buy, so that it will be less.
Yeah.
It doesn't the importance is
unalive.
We tribalize the everything because death has become so common. We can joke with it. And that's why they buy whatever number. They buy 200 people. 200 people.
And nobody gets to move.
And your president enters the plane, is traveling.
Yeah. We've lost our sense of
and when we say they killed the weightiness of that word, they killed. But the word killed sends the message. 200 people were killed. There will be a kind of a shift in your feeling. But when you say they bite, I mean, the same way you said it is when you will laugh. But we are talking about 200 lives. So we have gotten to a situation where we generate words to soften the implication of the actual name.
Maybe because to also lessen the psychological damages.
You are not lessening any psychological damage, because when you lessen it, you are also lessening
the
reality of what has happened. And we take it for granted as a joke.
All right, this is VOP 90.3 FM, the Maritime and Border Show. We're streaming live on YouTube. It's time to open up our phone for you to send your message, for you to put up your WhatsApp messages. Feel free. Our numbers are 0700 903 903 903.
You can also reach us on 0817 175 6338. And then on 0803 692 9933. Listeners, this program is open for sponsorship.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Robert.
All right.
I'm calling from my papa, Prince Chilaka.
Sir.
What I want to say is that your guest, the man from Badagry, the guy from Badagry, I've already said what I want to say. But it's like there's a competition among
Chief
the who will go, whose truck will go in. So as a result of, MPA, they see competition. There's no way they will not increase the price. So to me, that is why that something is increased. That is what we usually see when I was in the port many years ago. That's one. Sir, that man from that Oga from Badagry, I want to ask, sir. Those days that I was also at the port, they used to ferry containers to the waterways. It will reduce the traffic on the road. I don't know if that system has been abrogated or is still in place. If it has been abrogated, they should do it again to the truck boat, so that to reduce the amount of truck that pile up or queue up on the road. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Could you react to that? Are the badges still working, sir?
I said, why? It's working because if you say, but they use it to do majorly empties. They use it to return empties.
Okay.
Badges are working. But it still boils down to that same thing we're talking about, transportation.
Hello, good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling from?
Hello, Dr. Pinchilaka.
Good afternoon, sir.
How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
My greetings to everybody in the house. God bless you all.
We have Dilly, Tomi, and we have Chief Metu here. So there's no everybody.
Yeah, my greeting goes to all of you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So back to what you are talking, from maritime police and other agencies at the port. When corruption is the order of the day, I remember going at those. Sorry, my name is Mike. I'm speaking from a small area of Lagos. So going at those days, the moment container or consignment back the port, they are good to go. But it's not now. As they're leaving the port, they're prepared to do some works on the road. All these are corruption because all those agents line up on the road, they have their personality right there in the port. They conduct the examination alongside with customs. And before it can get out of the port, it went through processes. And
hello.
We've lost that.
Okay, we've lost that. Hello, sir. We're still on the air. All right, we've lost that caller.
Chief, you were trying to make your thoughts known on issue raised.
Okay, about the badges and
yes.
This or that. Yes. If we are doing it the way we should do it, those who are well traveled, and they tell you that it is the water that brought in these containers.
Of course.
So if those species, why can't we do something that will help us so that the number of trucks, because that part of the gridlock we see.
A lot of people have been harping on the issue of multimodalism, using different means of conveying these things, either to the port or away from the port, the empties to the port and the cargoes.
We speak a lot of big grammar when these things are very practical things to do. Multimodalism, it scatters the brain. Very simple thing. Move the one good one. This item from here to there. If you can move empty containers, why can't you move this to make it easy? Even some terminals are just by the seaside.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, actually, we know that apart from the ships.
Sorry. Good afternoon. My name is Mike once again, speaking from a small area of Lagos. I don't know what time my line went off. So, like I was saying, gone are those days. The moment your container bags the port, you are good to go. That's not obtainable today, and all these things are corruption. If you are moving, for instance, from Tinkan to Maitu, probably to a area of Lagos, you find NAVDAC, you find Sun, you find custom in more than 2-3 places. Along the road, the container that just exist from the port, not up to how many kilometers they away from the port. That's the and as for customs bank services, most of the times you go to the bank to pay your custom duty. The custom portal is not opening. It's not restricted to the bank. And most of the time when you pay the bank, it will not go to customs portal. Vice versa. Then back to terminal again. Terminals will have issues. and they go ahead counting demolish for you. It is their own problem. The server is not going, but as long as you are there, they'll be counting demolish for you. See? So all these things are corruption, and then, like I've already said before now, when the head is rotten, like rubber, you see in Nigeria, we are kept away from the fact they were not even there at the city. You don't allow us to say it as it is to avoid unnecessary problems. But if there's a blood was, you say it even if you concern it, you say it as it is. And the president will go home and think about it, probably come out with another mission the next day. But the case is different. That's why we are there. And like my brother there, that man, I love the way he's speaking. What is that?
It's not that man.
His name is Chief.
No, I cannot remember the name. Please, yes, Chilaka, please. Your name is so common to us. All that I cannot remember vividly. So take me as I am.
So the new term is not common.
So that's why refusing to represent a gravity of kill is unfortunate in a country where life is no longer valued. I remember going to those where I come from, an Igbo man, for instance. Those days where we don't have mortuaries floated everywhere. If somebody died, we're watching this, the person can even wake up in the next day before we can now be thinking of going to bed. But what happens now, people can slaughter animals like animals before the government or the people, and nothing happens. Nothing, they can't say anything about it. It's unfortunate, and God is angry with it. Let me tell you, there's an appointed time. Don't think God is not sure. God is still on it, just being patient with us to see if we can one day repent.
Thank you so much.
But
sir.
I'm sorry, when the wrath of God will fall on Nigeria, it will be unfortunate. May God bless us and give us the future.
I think I should have something to say about this God issue. I believe in God. But most of the problem we have in Nigeria is that we leave everything for God.
Yeah.
I am somebody who believes that this issue of you must pray 100 times or 100 hours, God has given you the abilities.
Hold your thought on that. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon, sir.
This is Amici calling from Ikoto.
You're welcome, sir.
Yes, sir. Please help me greet Chief Abeg. He's a wonderful man.
He's hearing you.
Chief,
Thank
you know, there are many chiefs. There are chiefs that believe in what they are collecting from people. Like someone like Tokas, criminal chief. But I can say by your word, you're a good chief. You can lead very well. And may God give you that wisdom to continue it. That's about God. God has finished work with Nigeria. It's we Nigeria that hold in ourselves. God cannot kill ourselves for Nigeria. The same way we are calling God, the same way other countries are calling God. And they are progressing. Now they call us common Nigeria because they are there. That is why when they want to do election, they will call us, Mumu, come and vote. Whether you vote or you don't vote, you don't work. Then when they want to do problem, they will come and kill you because we are common. You know, when you call somebody common, so that you don't even like, that's what you call common. But we are Nigeria, the same citizen. They don't regard us. You see what she said today, I learned something from it. If I go work, anyone that tell me I'm a common, I will deal with that person because I'm not common. I'm especially made, and God knows why He created me in Nigeria.
Thank you so much, sir.
God bless you all.
Chief, you wanted to make a point regarding this issue of talking about religion.
No, just say pray. You see, it's about time we started being responsible for whatever we do. Because many a time we leave what we are supposed to.
We share our responsibility.
I don't even say should. What is our responsibility? And we are praying for it. He said, show me thy work, and I will show you thy faith.
Exactly.
He didn't say, show me thy prayer.
Uh-huh.
I didn't say prayer is not good, though.
And the Bible also says, walk and pray.
And the word is, show me thy work. It is your work that determines your faith. Yeah. It's from what you're doing that God will bless you. Look at you and say, okay, now people go to church and they say, I am praying that I will have a job. The person is praying in a church where the pastor is building a 300,000 seater theater
auditorium.
Who are the people going to sit there? The same Nigerians who don't have work. The same Nigerians will come there and do 100 days fasting. Even Jesus Christ did 40. We are doing 100 in Nigeria. Now, I will give you a practical example. Go to Izito Bebi in Ikeja. It used to be warehouse from the beginning to the end, where goods were stored. Go there. There is no more goods in those places. All of them were bought by churches.
Yeah.
I don't want to mention names. From beginning to the end. Instead of products, we have prayer people there. And they must go and give their normal destiny. It's about time we. I don't want to say it because people have their businesses. So how I wish I started this pastor business early. It's late already for me. I'm sorry.
So you're saying you want to be a pastor?
I don't want to pastor
This
anymore.
is the Maritime and Border Show with the little Tommy and
Prince Chilaka. Like we say, we're streaming live on YouTube. If you're not tuned onto this dial, VOP 90.3, you're missing a lot.
Yeah.
So
we have Chief Ejikemetu here with us at the studio.
So Chief, let's come back, to the industry, and I want us to look at the effect of government policies today in the maritime industry. Let us take the customs, for instance. Every year, the customs are given a target. And we hear that before November, those targets are met. Which means that in the coming year, they're going to be given another
There is a target.
When these targets are being given, how does it affect the cost of items?
When you say how does it affect the cost, I was thinking you would say how does it affect the Nigerian citizens? Because cost of items, are there not Nigerians that will go to buy them? And the irony of the whole thing is, when these targets are met, even before the end of that fiscal year, the next year they will increase it without evaluating the impact of those taxes, because they are taxes on the Nigerian citizens. And that is why this is the Christmas period. A subtle survey of the market tells you there's no cash. Even in the mood of Christmas, you will notice there's an austere mood. A government that has prioritized taxation, that by January there is this one they said that will start coming up again. I truly would want to know if the National Assembly can truly investigate that taxation that will start in January. I have a feeling that the commencement of that taxation boots an ominous signal. Nigerians, we don't have blood anymore. Our blood, as far living in Nigeria, I've just said it, I mean it, I'm not joking. You can't go to hell 2 times once you're a Nigerian citizen. We're already in hell. That's the only way. So I want an officer that is giving an order to do something must do it, because it's a command and obey something. If you don't, they remove you. All of us go to buy from the same market, but all of us are now going to the same market with the same quantity of money. So your question and the answer to it, there is no way I can just answer you and I'll be correct. And there's no way I'll answer you. The bottom line is that Nigerians are suffering under the taxes imposed on them in Nigeria.
Okay. Chief, I need you to go back a little bit on what we discussed before in the course of our reading the events, the news that things that made the news in the course of the week. Why do you think that some of the government agencies within the maritime sector, they are having this, I'm not calling it unhealthy rivalry, but this misunderstanding, especially with what happened between the Nigerian Shippers Council and the NPA? Why do you think that is happening?
It goes down to show us that we don't have discipline in the hierarchy of order. Because if Shippers Council if MPA is under Shippers Council or Shippers Council, whether Mohammed go to the mantle or Mohammed, or if Jonah swallow fish or fish swallow Jonah, the important thing is for them to land at Nineveh.
Yeah.
By, you said the agencies, everyone, any law that created that agency has defined its obligations, rules.
Yeah.
So I don't think this rivalry, it can only be rivalry where you have subordinate authorities, same authority. But where it's not the same thing, why should there be rivalry? Whoever is supposed to call the one to the other, or the supervising ministry should also call them to order.
Okay. There are some messages coming in. The first one, who was reacting to the issue of the traffic we talked about earlier, says, Ogachilaka, my sister that left Lagos to East yesterday morning reached East this morning due to traffic by Bini Bypass Road. Bad roads from Chima. And Chief, you said something to the effect that if you are describing that
yes,
road,
I said instead of telling somebody to go to hell, tell him to pass through that place. It's not that place. You can fly from Lagos to Asaba. I will tell you, between Asaba as part of Asaba and Head Bridge, you may spend 5 hours there again.
Oh my goodness.
I'm telling you, I will be very frank because I'm angry. I don't know what the governors of Edo State and Delta State are doing. If they are not wicked, these are Nigerians passing through that road. If you see the portion of this road, especially in the one of Asaba, and the emotional damage, the trauma people go through there, your question is, as important as this road is, even the minister, when he moves out Mahi and they speak this, I don't want to come down to gutter language, say, whether the period or not, those roads are very important in the movement of goods and people in Nigeria. And you have left it to go and do whatever you say you are doing with the trillions of naira you are spending there. But the ones you have, that road was done by Annie, that is Bini Bypass.
Yeah.
But all of us know what we go through. All of us know what when we passed through inside Bini. Yeah. Until that road was built. But the question is, why is it not maintained?
It's been 20
people can even pass it now because it's no longer rainy season. Yeah. And this is part of the prayer point we have in Nigeria.
All right, another message says, hello hello VOP. My name is Samson from Ikorodu. The problem of maritime police is too much. They even go to shipping companies like Akas, Lagos and Niger, CMA, MSC to block release until clearance is given to the agents after parting with money. Go and investigate with ACAS. I'm a clearing and forwarding agent. They collect 100K per container. Thanks. This is a weighty allegation.
Okay, I told you online. She said it's an allegation. He alleged that he was very specific in mentioning what they collect, and he mentioned the shipping companies. So I think this goes beyond the realm of allegation, because he mentioned the amount collected and he mentioned the shipping companies. They go.
I think we need to investigate this.
Yes, investigate it journalistically. I will use that language, whether it's narcissistic or not. Investigative journalism. More correct.
And I think we need to bring in the PRO of the Maritime Police to come and clear the air on some of this issue.
That would be very wonderful if he will come.
Yeah. Let's see. I think some more messages are coming in. This one says, okay, someone was reacting to the issue of the tax that you talked about that will be coming up next year. It says, when I send money to my child in school, she will be taxed as well. Okay. this one is talking about another thing, but it's also relevant. It says, "Good morning, good afternoon, Prince Chilak and others. Thanks for your good statements. Honestly, all the government officials have already spoiled this country. All they know is borrow and to be collecting taxes from the citizens. Please don't have anything to they don't have anything to offer. Have a great day." This one is from is it Christian? Okay, more reactions from people.
Sometimes
Okay.
I even begin to wonder this mandate, because this thing you just raised now, which of the mandates are they talking about? Is it the one that's already given, or the mandate of borrowing?
Well,
Because that's the only thing I can. Every other have borrowed. Because by next week now there will be another president who want to, and they will say, "Don't worry, your mandate. Your mandate now, borrow." And they told us they have actually collected more than the whatever that was around either August or October.
Yeah, they surpassed
Their expectation. Then why are you borrowing?
well,
Why are you borrowing?
I think that's the dishonesty on the part of government. You can't be talking with both ends of your mouth.
Many a
surpass
time,
your revenue target.
many a time when you listen,
every other week you're going out.
when you listen to newspaper reviews, especially the morning 7 o'clock in most radio stations, I had President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has asked them to do this, but then the amount of money you hear, not in naira, in dollar, borrowing.
Well, I know a listener is taking this. He says, "Dilo Tommy, anyone who doesn't acknowledge your presence as a co-host there, you can cut them off. It's disrespectful." Mentioning just
No, I think they need to understand something. I feature here Tuesdays. I do analysis, so most of these people already are used to me. So I think whoever is sending this is not. You're not being fair. It's totally wrong.
Yeah.
Actually, like I was thinking that we would have used our silence.
No,
I cannot.
This person has consistently been doing this.
Okay.
And I have been ignoring it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's something he's been doing consistently.
Okay.
So I need to correct it.
Anyway, fortunately, watching two of you, this I don't want to say. I say Ake and Popo.
Okay.
Nobody can come between two of you.
Mr. Metu, we're not in your industry. This is my time and border.
We need it to.
Okay, we are expecting more calls from listeners.
While they're calling, we're talking. Hey, okay, Metu, let us talk about sponsorship of this program. When are we getting your? I want you to say it on air. When are you sponsoring us? How do you want to sponsor us? How do you want to partner with us? Because the show, everything we talked about today has been facilitation of trade, partnership. So now,
how to improve your business?
Yes, you're a
and for you
stakeholder.
to make more money.
Okay. We'll talk about that.
That's exactly what I was expecting. I was beginning to wonder
we'll talk about that later.
When the political answers are going to come.
No, this is not political. Expect me.
So let us. I'm trying to look at. There's this group in. I think they're also operating at that same border. We had the president of this task force. What's his name?
The National Compliance Joint Task Force of Clearing and Forwarding Agency.
And we know they operate on that axis where you also operate.
Yeah.
And they have come out to say that there's a lot of malpractices going on, to the point that their men were arrested, and the man on air said that the OC Legal collected money for them to bail their men. Now that is your axis. What is really going on in terms of contrabands entering the country late at night?
He made allegations.
I am not going to talk about the association you said. Why I will not do that? Just like you said, OC Lego, meaning that somehow it has become sub judice.
It's not in court.
No. You are telling me. I'm not sure. I will go and investigate. If it's not in court, when I come next time, I will talk. Anyway, the issue of contraband and whatever, going through and whatever time, there is a saying in my place that when a child laughs at the rottenness of the father's yam barn, that is the hunger that will wire him.
That's what
that is laughing at.
Good.
The question you ask many a time, I do ask it, is if you're coming to equity, are you coming with clean hands? You make these allegations because some of us, we want to be relevant, whether negative or positive, positively or negatively, and because they want to be heard. And I did say I don't want to talk about that association, and I do hope you don't push me to. If what they are doing is right, let them continue. If it's wrong, let them continue. I am not going to discuss them here.
Okay, Chief. Generally, looking at the business environment along that corridor, has there been marked improvement, or there's been a little bit of a downturn generally?
The issue we are having, I don't know if I should be very free before they say I have started my political answer. And those answers are not just political. We are just being, you're just being very careful, because there are certain things you also say that might impact on your in Nigerians' economy negatively. You understand? So sometimes that you do not answer a question does not mean you don't know the answer, but it is the cost implication of that answer you want to give. Fine. With the CAC we have now, Wale Adenuga, very pragmatic, very proactive. I don't flatter people. He is on his feet 24 hours. You'll be surprised. He goes for exams. We do exams these days.
He physically goes there?
Do physically, yes. Quote me.
Okay.
Quote me. He will just walk, not in his with his
official convoy.
Not with convoy. You're surprised.
Okay.
Energetic young man. I'm not saying he's perfect, but he is somebody who believes in this trade facilitation. And between us and our neighbors, there's always a judge. Anytime we bring any complaint, 24 hours, you see the difference. So far, the revenue is increasing, but the issue is there is a cog somewhere, and I think he himself and the Benin counterpart, he and his Benin counterpart, they are trying to sort it out, because over there, I would say there is a bit of dragging our jobs. They waste a lot of time over there for us for now. But he is doing everything possible to talk to the government and the officials of customs there so that our goods will not be delayed there. Because any delay there affects us at the border. So
effectively, he's up the ante, and businesses are growing.
That's what I'm saying. Very definite, very, because, and the beautiful thing is that when the trucks are passing, you will not even notice them, because they are flat. You can't. I don't think I have heard that any truck fell on the road, because it's very, very stringent on making sure you don't pass what it should be.
Okay.
All right, so thank you. We're running close to cruising home. This is VOP 90.3 FM, the Maritime and Border Show. Dilly, I think you have some information.
Yeah. We just saying that this program is open for sponsorship and advertisement. Advertisement, a whole lot of things we need to do together to keep it going. And of course, you have the phone numbers here. You can also call our personal phone numbers. Mine is 08027590195.
08121118789.
Or you can
follow us on
VOP.
You can follow us on our social media.
DLN_Utomi.
And you can follow me on Prince Francis Chilaka Facebook. I'm always there.
Yeah.
You can follow my YouTube, Prince Chilaka TV. I'm always there. So this has been quite an interesting
edition.
And like we said, we're not going to be seeing you guys until after Christmas. So we're wishing you all a happy And
Merry Christmas
in advance.
Happy New Year.
You know.
And I have an advice for everybody out there. This Christmas is not your birthday. Take it easy. Another one will still come. God bless you.
Well, it's been interesting having Chief Mechu with us. You know, like I said, when we started that this is going to be, you know, just free cruising and all of that. Things are really tough out there. Nigerians are not finding it funny. So we're asking Nigerians, please, take it one day at a time. Please. You know, take it one day at a time. And for those who have been set up as a committee to look into the issue of the tax laws, we hope that you guys would work on it expeditiously to know that January is just by the side and it will be implemented. So let us know which one has been implemented. The one approved by the National Assembly or the one that you guys claim now has become another man-made, altered. You know. Yeah. So it's been Maritime and Border Show on VOP 90.3 FM. I'm signing out. My name is Prince Chilaka.
And I'm Dili Tommy. Have yourself a lovely, lovely, lovely Christmas and a Happy New Year.
See you next week, Sunday.
Good day.